Dr. Dan here, and this is a Wisdom for the Week video, and this is the third video in a 5-part Be Smart series. And this particular video is 3 ways to determine who you are. So let's just look at an example here. You're just this good person floating along in life, and you're very capable, you're doing the right things, and you feel like you're doing pretty good. So if in that case, let's just pretend you got a call from one of these scam callers, and you get the phone, listen in, you realize they're trying to sell you waterfront property in Arizona, and you boom, hang that up. You're done with that. But you get a call from another person, and it's this negative self-talker, and this person is somebody that's a lot harder for you to hang up on because it's you. It's putting negative stuff into your head, and you tolerate it, and it consists of abuses, trying to control you, and it cripples you. It kind of holds you up to the light in the sense that it's negative, and you're trying to please others, you're never good enough. Who am I to get good grades, to graduate from college, to get this great job? And so eventually this leads you to what you can call a helplessness mentality. And so there's a lot of research on helplessness, and it's just kind of a crippling mentality. It leads to powerlessness, and then you kind of give up or you get frustrated, and not that you ever quit totally, but it hinders you. So there's a researcher out there named Carol Dweck, and she studied mindsets, and she broke it down into basically two types. There's a fixed mindset, and then there's the growth mindset. We want to lean, the fixed mindset says, yep, I got a certain amount of intelligence, I'm destined to be this way, I really can't change that much. And that's when you hear people saying, I'm just kind of that way, and that's just the way I am. I'm not good at names, I can't do this, I can't do that. No, that's a fixed mindset. A growth mindset means that, okay, I got some problems, I'm not perfect, I got a long ways to go, but I can grow and I can get better. So what we want to be leaning towards is that growth mindset, and you are far more capable than you think you are. And you know what? If you get a little bit of help, maybe I heard there's this guy out there named Dr. Dan that could possibly help me move ahead like that and get that growth mindset. He's out there. So yes, he can help you. So 3 ways that I look at that can help you determine who you are. It's real simple. There's a lot more extensive things that you can get into, but 3 basic ways would be to look at your time first. Your talent, and your treasure. So first off, your time. At one point in my life, I was listening to one of these rock star motivational speakers, and he was saying, you got to quit effing around. Now, I'm not a big F-bomb advocate, but it really struck home with me, and I was fooling around. I was watching 18 hours of TV per week. I tracked my time. Now, you have to track it. You can't just say, I'm guessing. You probably underestimate what you're really doing. I was watching 18 hours of TV per week, and that translates to 2 working days per week. Okay, 16 hours, 2 working days per week, and that translates to over 5 months, working months per year. 5 months if I'm watching 18 hours of TV a day. So I'm tracking my time, and there's really like 95% of TV, it kind of makes me dumber, or at best I just neutralize and zone out, and it makes me less smart. So for me, anyhow, I'm not condemning people that like watching TV, but for me, it just was a waste of time. So that's the first thing. Look at your time. You got to get real about your time, and make it a point to say, am I doing things that are really contributing to my advancement? The second thing would be your talent. What is your talent? There was a basketball coach that coached Kentucky years ago, decades ago, but he was one of the best basketball coaches at the time, and maybe of all time, one of the best of all time. And he had a quote that he would say, whenever you see a person, or he said a man, but it'd be a person on the top of a mountain, you can be sure they didn't fall there, okay? So there's some work to get to the point where you're utilizing your talent, but you want to find it, and it's a lot of times some people just, it kind of pops up for them, but that's rare. rarely do people just automatically find their talent. They've got to work their way into it. So what can you do to find your talent? Well, you volunteer and you expose yourself to numerous things that cause your talent to kind of be drawn out. One of the ways that many singers started was in the church choir. They started as a little kid where it really didn't matter. People accepted them for whoever they were, and then they finally realized they had some talent. School newspapers, you could find out if you're a writer, if you're a photographer. They have these news programs in high schools now where you can volunteer to either edit in the video that produces it. You can be a producer, you can be a director of the program. There's all kinds of things that you could do. You can volunteer for telethons. You can shadow people that you think, in a field that you think might be something that you're inclined to do. So knowing who you are through that exposure to multiple things helps you not only in choosing a major, but choosing the school that you want to go to. So you're not basing the school on it's got a pretty campus. Oh, I really liked it. I really like how I felt there. Well, that's okay, but there's some real important things about knowing what your talent is and where you fit. And so that's a key with that talent. So the third and final thing would be your treasure. Where are you spending your money? Any good detective will look at a scenario and a situation in a crime scene and say, follow the money. Same thing with our lives. Got to follow the money. Where am I spending my money, and what am I spending my money on? So, and there's ways to look at how are you going to spend your money in the future for the schooling. When I hear many times parents say, I don't know, I'm going to afford this, that kind of stuff, they just don't understand, I think, all the ways you can provide income or money. You can start applying for grants in as young as 8th grade. They'll hold that money for you. So there's a lot of money out there that you can apply for grants all along the way to college. You could work for college. Your parents could work for a university and get you an education free there. You could work for the university. You could go to a company and they'll pay for your education. You can go to the military. They will pay you to get your education. So there's all kinds of creative ways to go. They may not be initially what you thought it would be, but just get some exposure and just give it a try. You may have a total misrepresentation of what that scenario might be like. So just be thinking about that as far as where you're spending money and how much money you're going to spend in that future. So that determines who you are in the future. If you're strapped in debt and burdened with this big, overwhelming debt that you have to pay off, that determines a lot who you are in the future. If you get out of college debt-free, that can give you direction too. So time, where are you spending your time? What kind of talent do you have? And where are you putting your money? And so that determines a lot of who you are. There's a lot of other ways we can get into this, but in the nice short video we're doing here, you just want to look at that. And so if you're happy with what you're doing with your time, your treasure, and your talent and your treasure, then you just need to scale up. Chances are you can improve. We can all improve. I'm still improving. I want to improve. I'm a lifelong learner. I want to always improve. If you're really unhappy with an area, at least you know where you're at. And it builds off of what we talked to in the earlier video series of where are you, and that's more of a tangible thing. This is more, and that was external things. This is more internal. Where are you thinking, and getting that growth mindset that you're capable of far more than you think you are, and you can do a lot more things than you think you can. So this is about encouraging you, saying you can do this. You can have a growth mindset. You can do far exceedingly above all that you ask or think. And so I just want to encourage you. Now, if you want to read about this a little bit more in depth, I'll put a link to the eZine article that I wrote regarding this. And then if this was helpful to you, please like it, share it with your friends, and then give me your comments. Who are you? Have you discovered that yet? Do you know really deep down inside who you are? Do you have a way to go on making the best use of your time and your treasure and your talents? And so make some comments on that. And so just go for it. Just go for it. So this is Dr. Dan. Know where you're going with your life. Become the person you were destined to be, and make a difference in the world.